What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we are going to take a look at a Fates game where we do some cheese to steal a win, and some of that cheese is going to start on turn 1 with Roll the Die. Roll the Die is really cool with the Fates because Fates only works when you purchase a unit. So we're going to get to pick up this Fanny on turn 1, not lose our turn 1 combat, and still figure out what we're destined to later on. And we also won't be destined to Cinderella because you can't be destined to questing units that you purchase. So when we roll and find this blind mouse, that is really good. That is one of the best tier 2 units that you can be destined to. Find that early tier 4 treasure. That is the other cheese featured in this video. And that shop also had a genie's wish. So we're going to get a really strong start here. We are going to take a little bit of damage from Geppetto. That's unfortunate that that's not avoidable, but I will go ahead, sell off the Fanny, pick up the Wizard's Familiar after purchasing the Blind Mouse, and that will complete the Cinderella quest, which gives us a Shepherd Sling and also gives us an 8/8 because the Fates gets to give Cinderella +3/+3. So really strong start here to the game, and it's going to be strong enough that we are able to win this for glory as well, and then we'll be able to pick up a tier 4 treasure down the line, and that can give us some good strength into the mid and potentially late game depending on what we find. So really good stuff. Winning that for glory is going to give us a Princess Peep, and we've got a really interesting shop here. Definitely going to pick up this blind mouse, and we have the opportunity to pick up a really cool, we'll set ourselves up really well for next turn. I'm going to cycle through the tiny and pick up this Mad Mim and then lock this shop. Next turn, we're going to be able to pick up our third blind mouse. We'll also be able to grab this second Wizard's Familiar, which is a nice pair, and we'll be able to grab this Kidnap. And Kidnap is really good with a few different tier 4 treasures, and for that reason it is definitely a spell worth locking. It'll also give a little bit of stats to our Wizard's Familiars, and then Princess Peep plus Mad Mim will also just make us really strong for right now. So we are going to pick up that Blind Mouse, and one of the treasures that the Kidnap is really good with is Gloves of Thieving, because then you get to double Kidnap and then you're 2/3 of the way to your next pair and can start to do some really strong stuff. But we also have both of our spell treasures here with Moonsong Horn and Forking Rod, and those are definitely going to be top considerations, especially Forking Rod, one of the best tier 4 treasures. That is going to also actually allow us to double Kidnap here, as well as giving some nice additional stats to both of these Wizard's Familiars. But now we've got double cast on a Kidnap. So we're going to steal 2 copies of whatever we steal this turn, and then we're also going to double any spells that we cast and try to put a nice little mage comp here together, and we'll see how that goes. But really strong start. We also have 2 8/8s with the Fates, and then we've got all of these sheep summons here with the Princess Peep. So this game going very well for us. We'll see what we wind up stealing. Unfortunately, we did not steal the Wizard's Familiars or the Cinderellas. We see that this Horde Dragon actually has 2 Cinderellas themselves. We steal a pair of baby dragons, and that's not the best thing in the world, but we can still use these baby dragons for econ. We'll just sell them off and use that to pick up this triple of Spellweavers and Merlin's Hat and Crystal Ball. Great options. I'm going to go for Crystal Ball because it's less replaceable, but there's definitely some arguments there for Merlin's Hat. Would be good for picking up future like XP or something like that. I'm going to wind up selling off the Mad Mim because we can use the Crystal Ball to, or the Forking Rod to double cast the Witch's Brew, and that's just going to give us a bunch of stats here onto this Spellweaver to kind of jumpstart our board, and then we'll double cast the free roll just to get a little bit more stats on everything, because that will double cast as well. I'm going to lock this shop because I think that Ogre Princess plus Wormroot is going going to be strong enough. And we're strong enough right now as well to win this combat. So I think that this provides an interesting incentive to build some econ and start trying to slay with Ogre Princess. And I'm slightly interested in the Kitty Cut Purse as well, but just going to roll that away and then find some more spells here with these Luna's Graces. And then we find another Kidnap. And I'm kind of interested in this with the Forking Rod. Steel is definitely in the title of this video for a reason. I think that Forking Rod on Kidnap is just a really, really cool combination because you steal the same unit twice. So we didn't get super lucky on the last one. We 50-50 lost and stole one of my opponent's worst units, but we did still steal 2 copies of it, which means that Kidnap pays for itself. We are going to be playing down some units on this turn, but Kidnap still pays for itself, and it gives you a pair of units, which if those units aren't upgraded, I think we are going to steal an upgraded unit on this one, if I remember correctly. Oh, no. We steal a Sleeping Princess. So that's great. So now we've got 2/3 of a pair of Sleeping Princess. Do have to worry about this Black Prism from the Celestial Tiger here, but now we could potentially complete a Sleeping Princess triple and find Merlin's Hat, and there's just a lot of really interesting ways to potentially play this from here. Shard of the Ice Queen on Ogre Princess does seem like it's probably a good use of our coin, just because it's a free spell and we get to double cast it, so it's so much stats on everything, probably worth picking up. We do have double Shrink spell that we can cast here as well, so I'm going to cast a few more spells and then use this Shrink spell for econ, basically, pick up all of these free units, and then we'll wind up rolling a little bit, hoping to find Wizard's Familiar, Sleeping Princess, or yeah, really just that's it. I mean, maybe if we found a Queen of Hearts really early, Monster Book would also be something pretty reasonable to grab here, just a pair for that, because Monster Book is going to help us scale this board as well and do some nice stuff. But a 56 attack Spellweaver, we're kind of doing okay here to start things off. My opponent's Muerte is definitely going to give us a run for our money there with the Mummy that they have. Plus Ancient Sarcophagus means that they're going to get pretty close here, but we have some insanely large units that we're going to be able to take that Medusa out with. So feeling really, really strong at this point, the fact that we just were able to survive that Mummy. I do kind of like the Queen of Hearts, but I think I'm also kind of over it at this point in the game. I do think I am interested in Monster Book, though, and then I'm going to go for Double Kidnap again. And yeah, I just think the Double Kidnap is really strong. Now I'm going to roll again for Monster Book, Sleeping Princess, and Wizard's Familiar, see if we can't find any of those things just to give us a little bit more strength into the next half of this game. Find some more upgraded units. We do see another Shard of the Ice Queen, but I don't think I'm really interested in that at this point. Next turn, we're going to be level 5. So I'm really going to try to find Aeon at that point, because that will let our spells be cheaper. Right now, we've just been trying to get a little bit of econ from the kidnaps and then the shrink spells and stuff, but mostly just using the spells to increase the power on our board. But if we can find that Aeon, that is when we'll really get to go nuts with the Hat Ball side of it. So that is the goal, and we're going to be strong enough here to deal some damage to Geppetto as well. We stole 2 of their donkeys, so that's nice. We can potentially make a hat out of donkey. We find the triple here. It's not going to give us a hat, not really going to give us anything that's worth it. I just want to put all of my gold this turn into potentially trying to find an Aeon. So for that reason, I mean, I'll pick up a free spell here, get a little bit of extra HP, but you can see I don't want to cast every spell that I find. I really want to make sure that I've got enough gold left to find Aeon, and I do, just in time. We are able to pick up Aeon. And then I'm going to cast a Lightning Bolt as well. I'm going to move some things around and just double cast a Lightning Bolt to end this combat. And then we also, interestingly, have 2 Monster Books in the front row, and Aeon will scale a little bit in combat. Normally you keep Aeon in slot 1 and it like trades off, but we're going to use these Monster Books to help grow Aeon's attack just a little bit, and that'll help to just give us a little bit more power. We also lightning bolted a Romeo, so that was really nice for us as well. That means that we're not going to have to deal with the second half of this Juliet. Unfortunately, we don't get to slay with Aeon, but now Aeon is big enough from those monster books that I think it will be able to slay in future combats, and I'm just going to use all of my cash this turn to help build Aeon, and that will give us some more cash that we are able to make use of Aeon on future turns, or it'll give more stats that can potentially allow Aeon to slay, which is effectively cash, because it will make all of our spells a little bit cheaper. So that's the plan here. Casting a bunch of spells, Aeon up to a 28-34, pretty good, and we're even going to pick up another Aeon this turn, and I think we can just cut the Queen of Hearts, play a second Aeon in the back line, and again, those Aeons will both grow as we see these monster books die. So I feel like we are off to a really, really strong start here, but we're on 5.1 heading into the later stages of the game. We're 36 health though as well, and we get the slay with the Aeon, so that is really, really fantastic. Our second Aeon does go down before any of these monster books do, so that part's a little bit regrettable, but we're still really strong. We get to take Merlin out of the lobby, and we're on to like the top 4 now. Yeah, this is great. Trophy Hunter died and Muerte survives, but 5.2, don't really want any XP, just want to spend all of my cash casting some spells, and I do think True Love's Kiss could be good on Monster Book here. I'm just going to cast it on the Queen though, and look for a triple on these Monster Books, because I think that that would be nice as well. We're going to turn that into a Lordy, and then I'm just going to feed Lordy to the Kraken. I don't really have any great uses for a Lordy right now, and feed to the Kraken gives 4 gold, so that is probably as good as it gets. Then we'll get 2 triple up on this Monster Book, and Gloves of Thieving? Sure, why not? It's a little bit late, but we can use it to steal this game, potentially. I think we've already kind of stolen this game. We'll double cast the For Glory, and then we'll lock onto Aeon, and that'll allow us to triple Aeon next turn. We'll be stealing an upgraded Princess Peep. Nothing super great that we can get out of that, but we did get the slay with the Aeon, and I think we'll even get the slay with our backline Aeon on this combat as well, because my opponent has all of these summons sitting here. Yeah, Aeon will get the slay. So spells cost 2 less on this next turn, and I think it's just going to be me against the Celestial Tiger in the finals. That Celestial Tiger had the Black Prism earlier on, so they could definitely have something strong going on now, and I kind of want to steal what they've got, but Mimic Chest with Forking Rod is just too much to pass up, especially when Aeon has already gone ahead and made everything so cheap for us. So that's really good. We're now triple casting all of these spells, which is giving us a ton of stats on everything. True Love's Kiss will also be a triple cast, so that'll turn Peep into an upgraded tier 6 unit. We briefly played 2 dwarves before rolling into this Evil Twin, and then I'm just going to put back in the mages again. I'll play the Aeon and the Awoken Princess, and we're still triple kidnapping, still trying to steal that win. We'll steal 3 Aeons from my opponent thanks to Mimic Chest, Forking Rod, and that Kidnap that we just cast, and pretty close combat. My opponent is going to walk away with the win because of their range units, but we just stole 3 Aeons, and you can look at that win percentage up in the top corner. We were 80% to win. I think about selling my Aeon, but I actually think that we're best off here just picking up both of these Aeons. And now we've got 3 Aeons, and we've just got a really, really strong board here. All of our spells cost 2 less this turn. We're triple casting anything that's cheap. I like the Kidnap, but I think we can do better, and I also think that we want to grab another wizard, just any wizard, and or any mage rather, and Court Wizard is a mage. I do consider Dreaming, but not going to go ahead and do that yet. And then I am going to do that. We're going to sell off my bench Dream, and this is a triple cast Dream, so it doesn't really matter what these first 2 choices are, but choice number 3 is Merlin, and that's going to give us a bunch more stats when we cast some more spells. I'll just pick up a Gumblegore to end the turn there, and we wind up getting 1.5 slays with Aeon, so our spells are going to cost 3 less again this turn, and we actually get away with a win. 10 damage to Celestial Tiger. They've got some nice stuff going on there as well, so we don't want to count them out, but we're triple casting everything. We've got a bunch of mages here now. I do want to find one more mage to add to this board, but I also want to cast a whole bunch of spells, and yeah, this is really sweet. We do have the option to pick up some trees here as well. We're going to decline that and just cast as many spells as possible and make our mages as strong as we can. And I think we're doing pretty good. I do think that the 1.5 when I'm hatballing can definitely be a lot. I'm going to roll past that, what's it called? Pigomorph there as well, because we still had so much gold. But again, same thing with the Dream last turn. I'll cast the second Pigomorph, and then I'm going to lock onto Sporko. Main reason being it is a ranged mage, and it will be able to get a bunch of stats in the final turn. We can see that my opponent has put some sweet stuff together. They used Hand of Midas to find a Storm King and picked up another Storm King, so they've got some really big units going on. But we are going to get first attacks here with our ranged units, so we are going to walk away with a win, and we'll hit our opponent for 9 down to 6. So pretty nicely done. I'll grab Sporko. We'll just cast every spell that we can find, getting a bunch of extra attack on everything and gaining some HP in the process. And then also, yeah, we've got all these Merlin triggers. This might be a little bit uneasy on the eyes as all of these Merlin triggers are also flying in from the sides of the screen. So apologies for that, but I do think that, trying something new here with this 1.5x speed, let me know what you guys think about it. Sometimes when I'm hatballing, there's like not enough that I can actually provide meaningful commentary on, so it is worth it to just have everything sped up. Go for some True Love's Kisses. We find a Shoulder Fairies and some pigs, and then, we're just casting more spells. We run out of time. That's how we do it. And our units are actually huge. Our Aeons are trading with Storm Kings, and we're going to have a pretty easy time taking my opponent out there. They put together some really sweet stuff too with a Black Prism, but they could not deal with all of this cheese, and we definitely stole a win because we stole that Aeon right from my opponent, and we were able to do some really great things with it. That is going to be it for me for this one. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.